What South Alabama has been able to do over the past 2 weeks has truly been insane, putting up 87 points and 48 points in back-to-back weeks after a rough start to the 2024 season. While they may not be competing for the Group of 5 playoff spot come the end of the season, sitting at 2-2 already with a big game coming up against LSU this weekend, they could be laying down the foundation for something special come next season and beyond in year one under Major Applewhite. South Alabama is one of the youngest football programs at the FBS level and has already accomplished so much in its first 15 years of existence. This is the story of South Alabama football and why they could be special in years to come. But before we get into this, if you enjoy college football content like this, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Also, let me know who your favorite Sunbelt program is in the comment section below. In 2007, South Alabama's Board of Trustees approved the addition of a football team for the school with the plans to start the team in 2009 and transition to the FBS level by 2013. They would choose to hire Joey Jones as the school's first ever head football coach on February 15, 2008. Jones played college football at Alabama from 1979 to 1983 under head coach Bear Bryant, where he would go on to be an All-SEC as a senior and named to the Alabama All-Decade team. He played professionally for the Birmingham Stallions of the USFL and Atlanta Falcons of the NFL and became an assistant at Briarwood Christian rather than taking a grad assistant job at Alabama, and later became a head coach at Dora High School as well as Mountain Brooks High School. At Dora, he went 24-11, and at Mountain Brooks, he went 101-27, winning the 6A state championship and 4 regional titles. Jones wanted to be around for his kids growing up and was able to attend football games, basketball games, and everything in between, being able to be there for his kids. He told Tucson.com back in 2016, "That's been the most satisfying thing. I'm not looking back and saying, wow, I don't know my daughter or son," which I hear from other coaches. When his son Jake graduated high school, he would take his first college job at Birmingham Southern. He helped the team resurrect their program in their lone season there, going 3-7 when he learned that South Alabama was starting a football program. It was a special opportunity for him after growing up in Mobile. He explained, "I knew it's where I wanted to be, one of those moments in time where I just knew what I had to do." He let the school know he was interested, and the stories wrote themselves. Local boy who played for Bear Bryant and was a successful high school coach returns home to build up a brand new football program. South Alabama found instant success at the FCS level, starting their program off with a 17-0 record between 2009 and 2010, playing against JUCO teams, NAIA teams, Division II teams, and FCS teams. The school's first loss came against NC State in Raleigh when they fell 35-13 in 2011, and they finished the year 6-4. In 2012, they officially became a member of the Sun Belt Conference, going 2-11 in their first year as a full-blown FBS member, went 6-6 in 2013, were not eligible to play in a bowl game due to the transition rules. In 2014, the school made its first bowl game, losing the Camellia Bowl, becoming the youngest program to ever play in a bowl game, breaking FAU's record, and made it back to a bowl game again in 2016 where they lost in the Arizona Bowl. During the 2016 season, they also beat their first SEC opponent when they upset Mississippi State 21-20 during the opening weekend. They also earned their first win over a ranked team when they beat number 19 San Diego State 42-24. Jones loved the program, explaining, "When we lose a game, it feels like I'm letting everyone down. It's so personal for me. If it'd been, I don't know, Boise State or Western Kentucky, if you lose, it hurts, but you don't have feelings you all let these people down. It's almost like a dream to be back at Mobile. I used to go to USA basketball games, and never in my mind did I ever think I'd be coaching football here one day." Yet in 2017, it would be his last season as the school's head coach, as on November 20th, he announced he would be resigning, explaining, "There comes a time in every program where there needs to be a change. For this program that I love so much, that time is now. One of the proudest days of my personal life was being named the first head coach at South Alabama. Today is difficult, but it is the right step for me, my family, and for this football program." South Alabama would finish the season 4-8 and was looking for their second head coach in school history. Jones finished with his South Alabama coaching career record with a 52-50 record and helped lay the foundation for the football program. Athletic Director Joel Erdman said in a statement, "Joey Jones is the father of our football program. He, his wife Elise, and his entire family put their arms around the program and committed to its establishment and growth. He has placed South Alabama football on strong footing, which is something he and his family can be very proud of, and we sincerely appreciate. His good, hard work and commitment will forever be recognized. Steve Campbell was chosen to replace Jones as the school's second ever head coach. Campbell found success at Delta State, where he led them to a Division II national title, and at Central Arkansas, where he put together a 33-15 record and won the Southland Conference his last season. He led the Bears to 2 FCS playoff appearances and a top 10 finish in the top 25 polls, but never made it out of the second round of the playoffs. As a student athlete and coach, he had 3 national titles to his name and a .75 winning percentage according to South Alabama. Campbell would struggle at South Alabama though, as they would go 3-9 in his first season, 2-10 in his second season, and 4-7 in his last season, going 9-26 in 3 years before being fired. The decision to fire him came after they lost to his alma mater, Troy, 29-0, in the regular season finale. During Campbell's last season, the Jaguars unveiled their new $80 million on-campus football stadium, and coaches being considered to replace Campbell included Alabama running back coach Charles Huff, Tennessee wide receivers coach T. Martin, Indiana defensive coordinator Kane Womack, UAB defensive coordinator David Reeves, and Crimson Tide assistant Butch Jones, according to ESPN. Kane Womack would be hired to be South Alabama's third head coach in school history at the age of 33. Womack had served as South Alabama's defensive coordinator from 2016 and 2017, before joining the Indiana coaching staff in 2018 as their linebacker coach and defensive coordinator in 2019 and 2020. During the 2020 season, he was the Broyles Award finalist and helped the Hoosiers lead the Big Ten in interceptions with 17 and red zone defense. When he was hired, Indiana was 6-1 and 8th in the AP poll. Womack led South Alabama to a 5-7 finish in 2021, before leading the school to their best record as an FBS school in 2022, when they won a share of the Sun Belt West Conference title and finished the year 10-3, but ended the year on a sour note, losing the New Orleans Bowl to Western Kentucky 44-23. Their other 2 losses came to UCLA 32-31 and Troy 10-6, the latter of which cost them a spot in the Sun Belt Conference Championship game. 2023 saw the Jaguars finish the regular season 6-6, but that was enough to earn them a spot in the 68 Venture Bowl, their 4th bowl game in school history, where they beat Eastern Michigan 59-10 to win their first ever bowl game since the program's inception. It seemed like Womack had things rolling down in Mobile until January of 2024, when he decided to shock everyone. Womack would take the defensive coordinator position at Alabama, joining Kalen DeBoer's new staff down in Birmingham, reuniting him with DeBoer, who was Indiana's offensive coordinator in 2019. South Alabama ranked 15th nationally in total defense in 2023 and tied for 27th in scoring defense. Travaris Robinson did not turn down the Alabama defensive coordinator position, who joined Georgia's coaching staff as their co-defensive coordinator instead. Womack would probably still be coaching at South Alabama. Major Applewhite would replace Ken Womack as head coach after serving as his offense coordinator the previous 3 years. Applewhite had put together a 15-11 record as head coach of Houston from 2016 to 2018, including winning a share of the American Athletic Conference Western Division title, won 0-3 in bowl games, including a game he took over as head coach when Tom Herman left to take the Texas job. Due to his performance in the bowl game and a 70-14 loss to Army, he would be fired after 2 full seasons as head coach. He helped develop Greg Ward and De'Aaron King at Houston. Before arriving at South Alabama, he spent time at Alabama as an analyst. Before he became the offense coordinator at Houston, he had served as an offense coordinator for both Alabama in Nick Saban's first season as head coach there, and Texas. He helped put together a prolific offense at South Alabama, even turning down opportunities to be an offense coordinator in the SEC and other Power 5 schools following the 2022 season, according to ESPN. Under Applewhite, South Alabama averaged 33.1 points per game, more than 440 yards per game in 2023. Wide receiver Jalen Tolbert developed into a third-round pick in the 2022 NFL Draft under Applewhite, and transfer quarterback Carter Bradley signed with the Las Vegas Raiders as an undrafted free agent and is currently on their practice squad. In their season opener against North Texas, the offense looked strong, but the defense allowed 52 points in their 52-38 loss at home. With quarterback Gio Lopez out with turf toe, in Week 2, the Jaguars would lose to Ohio on the road 27-20 to start the season off 0-2. But then something special happened in Week 3. South Alabama football made history with their dismantling of Northwestern State, an FCS team, 87-10. It was the highest scoring victory by an FBS team over an FCS team since Houston set the record in 1990, and Oklahoma State tied the record in 2012 by scoring 84 points. It was also the highest scoring output by an FBS team since Fresno State beat New Mexico 94-17 in 1991. What made this achievement even more impressive is the fact that South Alabama was able to do it even though the fourth quarter was shortened to 6 minutes, and it was a running clock throughout the fourth quarter. They set a school record and Sunbelt record for most points in a game, a record they set last year when they scored 55 points against UL Monroe and Southern Miss. They had a 14-point lead at the end of the first quarter, 42-point lead at halftime, and a 70-point lead by the end of the third quarter. Gio Lopez went 15 for 19 for 257 yards and 4 touchdowns in 2.5 quarters, while Fluff Bothwell and Kentrell Bullock combined for 15 carries for 245 yards and 4 touchdowns, averaging 16.3 yards per carry combined. It was Major Applewhite's first win as head coach, as the former offense coordinator saw his offense put up 620 total yards and his defense only allowed 237 yards. Throughout the game, according to AL.com, South Alabama had 6 touchdowns called back by penalties, 2 by instant replay, and also gave up a 75-yard touchdown pass in the first quarter, but still dominated. Applewhite said after the game, "I'm proud of the way our guys played, the way they responded to coming off a loss. In a short week, the staff did an outstanding job. I know people say that a lot. It sounds cliche, but they did. Our practices were good. We went a little bit more Wednesday than we normally do the day before a game, and there was no complaining. I was proud of the guys and the way the coaches got them to play today." It set up a huge game against App State in their Sun Belt season opener this past Thursday. App State entered the game as 7-point favorites at home on Thursday night, and many wondered whether the offensive performance against Northwestern State was a real offense or a byproduct of playing an inferior team. Although they had 562 yards in their matchup against North Texas in Week 1, there were still some questions. Those questions were answered as the Jaguars crushed App State 48-14, shocking many across the college football world. Lopez threw for 2 touchdowns and ran in another, and they jumped out to a 28-0 lead. Joey Aguilar found Dalton Stroman on a 47-yard touchdown pass to cut the lead at 28-7 for half, but Lopez and South Alabama continued to cruise and took a 48-7 lead in the fourth quarter. Bothwell had 116 yards on 16 carries, while Lopez had 154 passing yards to go with 105 yards on the ground. South Alabama ran for 322 yards and 5 touchdowns on 41 carries in their win. With their 2 losses to open the season, it doesn't seem likely that the Jaguars will be fighting for a college football playoff spot this year, especially since they travel to Baton Rouge to take on LSU this week. But they could be contenders to win the Sun Belt this season and put together the building blocks to become the next great Group of 5 team, since Lopez is only a redshirt freshman. South Alabama has been fun to watch this year, and I can't wait to see what they could do against the Tigers. Could they pull off one of the biggest upsets in school history? We will have to wait and see. What do you think? Can South Alabama win the Sun Belt this year? And how do you think they finish the season? Let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out one of my other videos YouTube thinks you will love right here. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, remember to embrace the grind.